G'day, welcome to Country Music World. I'm Mick.
And I'm Jay.
Today we're going to take you directly to Music Row and we're going to have a look at the life of an independent American country music artist.
She's already clocked up plenty of miles in the studio as a session guitarist. She's written songs with Matt Wynn from American Idol, and amongst that she's also found time to start her own foundation, which is called the Care Foundation, which helps assist single mums and their kids.
And not only that, Jay, she's also got a Compassion Kid, and she's just been named Wonder Watch from the Nashville Songwriters Association.
So subscribe to the channel, like and share the post, sit back, relax, and let's get to know a little bit more about Ashley Taylor.
Okay, Jay, so let's cut across to Music Row. We got you online there, Ashley?
Hi, Ash.
Hey,
how you going, mate? Welcome to Country Music World. Thank you for taking some time out of your day or night time. It's going to be night time over there, I think.
Night time over there, Mick.
Yeah. And spending some time with us. How you going?
Oh, good. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so excited.
No, it's a pleasure. Now, look,
awesome.
What we want to do here at Country Music World when we head across to Nashville is we want to run sort of an inline thing here with our Australian indies and our Nashville indies, and we basically want to put them side by side and see whether the playing fields are the same, different, better, worse, all those sort of scenarios.
We want to see if the grass is green on both sides of the fence, is what we want to do.
I think we're going to find that the grass is about the same.
Yeah, same colour, you reckon?
I reckon I'm going to go out and stab. So, Ash,
well, let's talk to Ash and find out.
Yep, let's get to know a little about you. So, were you born and raised in Nashville?
No, I was not. I have lived in Nashville for about a year, but I originally come from a town in California called Bakersfield. So it's called, though, Bakersfield, my hometown, is actually called the original Nashville. So back in like the 70s and stuff, we were actually known for the birthplace of Merle Haggard, Buck Owens, Dwight Yoakam. So I come from a little farm town in California.
Nice. Now, what made you take the leap and head down to Nashville? So, because it's a pretty brave step for a girl from Bakersfield, is it?
Yeah. I was actually one of those crazy people. And what I mean by that is, I think we all hear stories of people that literally sold everything that they owned and just kind of like left. That was me. I grew up listening to my grandmother play like Loretta Lynn albums and Tammy Wynette and the Dixie Chicks every single day while she would clean her house or cook dinner. And, there is something amazing about country music. It is just real life. It really is three chords and the truth. And there was just something about that I loved. And so, when I was a kid, I would listen to that music. And then I eventually started, playing guitar and writing songs and started out, just loving music. And, one day I was sitting, in Bakersfield in my home, and I just kind of looked around and I just said, I don't want this. I don't want to be here. I want to be in Nashville. I want to be where it's happening. This is what I want to do. And so I literally sold everything that I owned. I bought a plane ticket and quit my job and came out here a year ago just on a whim. And honestly, that was probably the craziest decision I've ever made, but it's the best. It's definitely paid off.
Yeah, I'd say it has, Ash. You've had a single out. Tell us what you've got coming up in music. You got an EP coming out and some other exciting stuff too, I hear.
Yeah. We released, about a year ago now, we released my first single off the EP. It's called Play Like Ken. And, basically just a really, again, a true story. That's what country music is. And if anyone's watching that have heard the song, it's kind of a cool story. But I basically, if you guys have seen my show, if you follow me on social media, you guys know that I kind of play a little lead guitar, and it's kind of all I like to do is just sit and play guitar. And and so I got off stage one night, and this guy came up in Knoxville, Tennessee, so just real big Southern guy, and he comes up to me and he says, "Ma'am, you sure are pretty." And I was like, well, thank you so much. That's real sweet of you. And then he was like, "But you play guitar like a man." And I just started laughing. I'm like, I'm pretty, but I play guitar like a man. Like, what? And so without thinking, I just said, well, I guess I just look like Barbie and play like Ken. And so I just got in the car that night, and I was driving back to Nashville. It's like a 3-hour drive. And I said, that sounds like a song. I kind of like that. So I wrote the verses while I was just driving home to Nashville, just on my cell phone, driving and writing the verses. And the next day I went into a co-write with a buddy, and I was like, hey, man, I wrote this while I was driving home last night. I need a chorus. And so we wrote the chorus together. So that's kind of how Play Like Ken got going. And like I said, it's getting radio play here in the States that I'm really excited about and open a lot of doors. And then, currently right now I'm actually working on my debut EP. Play Like Ken will be on that, but it's going to be 7 songs. All of them I've either written by myself or I've co-written with co-writers here in Nashville, and I'm really excited for it. It's turning out better than I had hoped, which says a lot. So I'm excited to share it with people and have people take a listen and get the feedback.
Ash, do you find it's a common thing for the young country lasses over there, so the ladies, to be cranking away an electric guitar, or do you think that's going to set you aside from the normal market? Because it's not something we see all over here.
No.
It definitely sets me aside, hands down. Not saying that, there aren't other girls out there in the world that can, pick up a guitar and actually play, but it definitely sets me aside. And, I think it's great, though, and I know for me, when I see, if you think about the old days, if you think of somebody, let's say, like Barbara Mandrell, Barbara Mandrell had been retired from country music for, I think 11 years when I first discovered her. But I remember sitting down as a kid, and watching her, and she could pick up any instrument and play it. She could sing, she could dance, she could act. She was a class act. And I said, you know what? That is who I want to be when I grow up. That's who I want to model myself after. So, if there's anyone watching that's picking up a guitar and they're like, I can't get the D, the 7th, or, they can't get it, keep working at it, because I'm telling you, man, it's worth it. Don't be average at anything. It's just go for it.
I love hearing something like that, Jay. Don't be average at anything. Yeah. Are you naturally one of these people that you don't settle? You just got to push yourself. Is that's in your makeup, is it, or have you learnt this?
No, I think it's definitely in my makeup. There are things that will come naturally really easy to me, and a lot of the time, though, in all honesty, I pretty much have to work hard to get really good at everything. And even if there's something that I'm really good at, usually there's still room for improvement, I find. There will be days where I think, man, I'm really good at that. And then, I'll see someone else do it and I'll be like, oh, man, I got to go home and practice. Especially, here in Nashville, I mean, we have so many crazy talented people. And I'm sure it's the same over there. Even someone from Australia that's made it big in country music, Keith Urban. Some days I think I'm just killing it at my solos on the guitar, and then I watch him and I'm like, man, I need lessons. I need to go back to square one. I don't know what I'm doing. And so it's inspiring, and it's, I've always said too, if I'm the smartest person in the room, then I'm in the wrong room. And so I like to be surrounded by people that are smarter than me and that are better than me, because that is how you grow. That is how you grow.
I like that a lot.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's a good way of putting that.
Ash, not only do you play guitar really well, you're doing well as a songwriter too, we hear.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your songwriting?
I would love to.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny too, like we were talking about, just working at things. A year ago when I first moved to Nashville, no joke, I didn't know what a co-write was. I came here and people were like, oh, let's co-write. And I'm like, what is that? And for those that don't know, it's basically where you meet up with another songwriter and you just write a song together. And so I literally just immersed myself in it, and I worked really hard and just try to learn as much as I can. And I'm just really blessed to have, I just last night got my 15th cut this year. For any songwriter, that is a huge ordeal. But yeah, I've written a song called Thank You, which is actually a theme song for a second tour campaign, which is basically like a veterans association here. So I'm really honored to have that, especially, just to have my first big cut be something about, just veterans and supporting our military here in the U.S. That was awesome. And then just, several different artists here in Nashville, kind of American acts that picked up stuff. There's a guy that I actually tour with named Matt Wynn. I have 3 songs on his EP that's coming out. So yeah, just lots of different people just picking up songs, and a guy named Marshall, who's a fantastic artist here in the U.S. I have a song called Bold coming out with him. So yeah, I'm just really grateful. I not only love writing songs for myself, but I just love writing songs in general, and especially for other people. You know, I love walking into the room every day with somebody, and you know, you study that person, and you learn who they are, what they say, what they stand for, and you're like, hey, you know, I think this would fit you. This is a cool idea, and just that creative, you know, juice to be like, all right, let's go for it and come up with something new. I've written country songs, I've written pop songs, I got R&B songs. It's just fun. I can't imagine doing anything else. I just love it.
So how many songs have you had cut this year, Ash?
15.
15 songs. So to get 15 songs cut, how many have you written this year?
Probably about 200. So 15 out of 200, right?
So 200 songs in a year is not a bad effort, though. That's not a bad effort.
It's not.
Look, we don't mean anything by that, Ash. Like, for you to get 15 cuts out of writing 200 songs, to me, says you're doing something right.
Yeah, that's actually a really good thing.
That's a good thing.
It's a double-edged sword, that one, because to get 15 out of 200, like, you got to write 200 to land 15. That's like, wow, okay. But it's just, all I'm doing that for is to show people you just can't write a song and it's going to get cut. You got to keep working. It's a work in progress. However, the actual fact, 7.5% success rate is pretty good.
Did you do that in your head?
I did.
I'm impressed. You're smart. You're smart.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Pretty clever, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah.
Not bad for a guitar player.
And like I said, I think it all goes back to, you know, just like, you know, working hard, because I know for me, you know, I write every single day. And that's something that I think a lot of people, it can be hard to get yourself to get in that mode of, you know, you work all day and then it's like, oh man, I gotta write. But it does pay off, you know, and being a songwriter and musician, just like we were talking about with guitar, you know, it's practice, it's discipline. I came in here to town a year ago not even knowing what a co-write was. I said, okay, I don't know, so I have to learn about it. I gotta work at it, and then here I am a year later, 15 cuts. You know, like you said, that you put in the work and you'll get there.
You might write some slang into one of your songs, Ash.
Yeah, some slang.
Yes.
Yeah, we actually, you know, Jay,
I'm going to do some slang with Ashley.
I think it's probably time now. We've you know, we're about 10 or 11 minutes into this interview, and I've been finding it really hard not to talk our natural tongue. And,
okay.
But I think it's time now to put you up for a bit of a challenge. You want to take a Country Music World Slang Challenge with us, Ash?
Yes, of course.
I knew you were going to say yes to this. I knew you were going to say yes. So
she's lit up. She's excited. Look at her.
Now, do you know what slang is? You know what Aussie slang is, right? So obviously, you know what's coming.
I think I know what's coming. I guess I'm about to find out if I knew what was coming.
I don't think you got a clue what's in store for you.
I don't even know what have we got planned.
I don't know. We're gonna rattle them off because we actually didn't prep any slang.
No, we didn't.
So we're just going to throw a few at you. But let's start with an easy one. Now this is probably the simplest, most normal one we're going to start, and I think they're going to get gradually harder. But if we walked up to you and went, "G'day, Ash," what are we saying to you?
Good day.
How you going?
There you go.
So that's basically a g'day. How you going?
Now, Ash, if I told you that Mick had his thong on, what would that be?
He had his what on?
His thong.
I actually, and I'll tell you, I actually do have a thong on right now.
I'm telling you, he's got a thong on. He's got two thongs on, actually.
I wear double thongs.
So thong to me means underwear. That's what that means.
Yeah. What sort of underwear is it?
That's what it means to us too.
It's,
I'm wearing 2 pairs of panties right now. no.
It's generally those ones that go right up your clacker, which is another Australian term for you.
Yeah, what's clacker? Do you know what clacker is?
I'm going to take a guess and say it's your butt crack.
You got it. You got it. See, now we're converting you here.
But what you would call flip-flops, you know what flip-flops are?
Yes, like sandals, like shoes.
Yeah, they're thongs in Australia.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I do have 2 thongs on, and I actually do have 2 pair of panties on as well.
We don't want to know about that, Mick.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now that's the Aussie humour for you right there. All right, so we've got another one for you, Ash. Now, what would we be wearing if we were wearing budgie smugglers?
Is that like a swimming suit, like swimming trunks, like?
You're very close.
You're quite onto it. It's pretty much a pair of
Speedos?
Pair of speedos. Do you know what speedos
you
are?
wear speedos.
Oh, it's a Speedo.
It's a speedo.
It's a speedo, yeah. So they're not a pretty thing. Over here we call them budgie smugglers.
Hence you can imagine what a budgie is then.
You know what a budgie is?
Yeah. I'm guessing. Yeah.
So imagine a female jamming a budgie down the front of her bikini. Budgie smugglers. I know, it's terrible. I don't know how we get it. It's pretty hard to.
You guys are so much more fun in this country. Like I just don't even know.
I know. It's funny. Don't try and work it out. You just got to laugh and go with it. All right. Well, what about if someone said, "How you going, cobber?"
I have no idea.
All right. That would be generally you hear cobber. Actually, it's not used too much anymore, is it, Jay? It's a bit more of a. No. It's an more of an older slang word, but it was something our fathers and grandfathers would have used, and that would be two men walking up saying "G'day, cobber." So it's instead of saying "G'day, mate" or "How you going, friend," they'd say something like "G'day, cobber." So. What do you got, Jay? We've got a couple more.
One. Now, if I was feeling like a frog in a sock, how does that mean I'm feeling?
Like a frog in a sock? I'm guessing hot.
Yeah. That's right. He'd be pretty hot and he'd be pretty cranky, wouldn't he? As mad as a frog in a sock, is what we say.
So
you guys realize I'm gonna start like using this all over Music Row.
Oh yeah, go for it.
People are gonna be like, "How are you today?" I'm like, "Frog in a sock." Like,
yeah. Or now here's a good one. Here's another one after your frog in a sock thing, because I think you're going to find whoever you walk up and say, "I feel like a frog in a sock," that they're going to be a bit gobsmacked. Right?
I'm guessing that means confused.
Exactly. They're gobsmacked. They're sort of like. Yeah. It's kind of like that. It's like smacking the gob, you know. What else we got, mate? We got thousands and thousands of slang.
We do. We just got to try and remember what they are.
The worst thing about it is we've got to use the ones that aren't rude, you know. Yeah. So because our natural form is probably a little politically incorrect.
Yeah, we'll try this one. We tried this one with the girls from Sweden a few weeks back.
Okay. You didn't watch that interview, did you, Ash?
No, I didn't.
Okay, cool.
No,
all right, well, let's try this one.
I did not cheat.
If I was to say I'm flat out as a lizard drinking.
It's a good one. I like that.
What does that mean?
I think that means you're passed out drunk.
Well, I suppose it could mean that. It
could do.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that. It's actually not even close to that.
No, it doesn't mean that in Australia.
It could.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Flat out like a lizard drinking. It basically, I reckon you, Ash, are flat out like a lizard drinking.
What does that mean?
It means that you're so busy you just don't have time to scratch.
Oh,
Wow. Make one more?
Yeah.
All right, what's the last one here, Jay?
Don't come to raw prawn with me, mate.
Oh, good one. That's a good one.
I'm guessing that means don't mess with me.
Yeah, don't tell me lies.
Don't fib. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, don't come to raw prawn.
Don't come to raw prawn. That's pretty. I like that one. That's one that doesn't get used a lot, but it's pretty effective when used in the correct, you know.
Yeah, especially when they're trying to serve shrimp.
Yeah,
they want prawns.
So, we'll leave you one. We'll leave you one here because this one will be a starting point when you walk up Margaritaville and you're heading down Broadway and you're going into the bars, you're having a drink and you meet up with some friends, and they're starting to talk a little bit of rubbish. So spinning you a few yarns. See, there's another one. Spinning your yarn. That means they're having a lend of you, right? Having a lend of you. Yeah. No.
Telling you a lie.
Telling you a fib. Yep.
Oh.
So all you got to do is you got to look them straight in the eyes and go, "Shut up, you flaming drongo."
You flaming drunko?
Shut up, you flaming drongo.
That's it.
And that's the conversation ends right there. And that, my friend, means you have passed the slang test. If you can say, shut up, you flaming drongo.
Shut up, you flaming drunko.
That's it.
It's pretty good.
When you're in your next big meeting and they're talking too much, you just tell them that.
You just say that to them. They're probably not going to have a clue what that means.
Life-changing, life-changing.
You just tell them that Keith Urban said to shut up, you flaming drongo.
Exactly. He uses it a lot. He does. I reckon he still would.
Probably, yeah.
Probably not.
I actually just ran into him, like, no joke, like 3 days ago.
Oh, really?
At the Guitar Center here in Nashville. And he bought this, like, really cool telly, but now I wish I would have, like, met you guys first and then ran into him, because then I could have told him all this.
Well, yeah, you could have said, don't buy that one, you flaming drongo, because you're gonna look like a galah.
Like a what?
Oh, yeah, I know, right. See, it never ends. It never ends. Now, have you ever been to Australia, Ash? You ever been over here?
No.
So
No.
when a Bakersfield girl moves to Nashville and she sits there and she goes, I'm going to jump on the internet and have a look at a foreign country, and for instance you might bring up Australia, what would be the thing you want to see over here? If we said, righto Jay, we're going to bring Ash over here and we're going to treat her on a holiday and we're going to take you around, what would be the bucket list things you want to do in Australia? Do you know much about us?
I know a little bit. To be honest, like if I were to come up there, I would just want to soak in the people, soak in the culture. I know that it's beautiful, is what I hear. Like, you know, the slang that you guys are talking. I know that people here in the U.S., like, you know, because, you know, here in the U.S., I mean, you know, Americans, but a lot of, you know, people come over here from different countries, whether it be on vacation, on holiday, or you know, just live here and visit family. So we do get to hear, you know, little bits and pieces from around the world, which is cool. But I would just like to soak up in the people and, you know, clearly, you know, hang out with locals like yourself to say, okay, like, what do you guys do here? You know, what should I see while I'm here? Because
I know
you guys are the experts.
I know one thing we frequently do at the pub, but we can't say that. That's slang that will get us into trouble. And but when you come over here, we will take you out on the. And then every Australian right now know what I'm going to say right there, but we're not going to put it in. You have to go to Google to find out. If we're going to take you out on the for a night, then people can fill in that missing blank.
Yeah.
But that's our favourite thing to do, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yep, we go out and we watch a band, or we sit home and we drink some beers and we play the guitar and we write some songs. And
Well, we put them in the esky, or you'd put them in a cooler.
yeah, put them in a cooler, stick them on ice.
Okay.
Stick them on ice.
Yeah.
And the thing that I think you would most American people that come over here, I think that they find that everything in Australia, and it is really, when you look at the rest of the world, everything in Australia is just really, really relaxed. We don't really give a bugger. And here's another bit of slang. We don't really give a bugger about anything, and that means we don't care less really about too much stuff, do we? Like,
Well, yeah, look, we'll have an opinion or an argument or whatever, but at the end of it, it's like, I don't really give a bugger.
we don't really care. So it's like, let's just have a beer and we would worry about something else. So that's a pretty general, isn't it? Like, it's pretty relaxed. And I mean, you know, do you know any of our animals, Ash? Have you got to know any of our animals? Is there, like, I mean, you know, kangaroos. Okay, so when you think a kangaroo, what do you think? So are they like a cute little creature that you want to cuddle?
Oh yeah, they're like cute, adorable little baby in the pouch.
They're
you know.
Now, have you you know, do you hit a lot of deer? You know how deers hit cars over there and they're a real nuisance to you guys, but the rest of the world goes, deer are so cute?
Yes.
Well, our kangaroos are your deer.
Oh.
Now, over here, we want to shoot them and just get rid of them because they destroy so many cars, don't they?
Really?
They're a pain in the butt. See, there's more slang for you.
And just so you know, some of our kangaroos are over 2 meters tall.
Yeah, they're big. They're really, really big.
And if you got kicked by one, you'd be spending a lengthy stay in the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, see, it's funny, isn't it?
They're not all cute and cuddly.
There was a real good chance you were going to say kangaroo with that, and it brings a lot of people sort of like, are you kidding? Because you guys would see the postcards and all the pretty, and look, they're nice little animals, but a dead one's just as good as a live one.
Are you guys familiar with the kids cartoon Winnie the Pooh?
Yes.
Pooh Bear and yeah, I mean, like that. I think from childhood that was the first time I saw a kangaroo, and it was like kanga. And so I think that's I think of a little sweet mom with her baby in the pouch, and I think kangaroo. And now you're telling me this, and I'm like, my childhood. I was lied to.
Yeah, mashing her childhood dreams, Mick.
What about koalas? Do you like koalas?
I love koalas. Don't tell me they're mean too.
No, koalas are actually really nice. The only thing I will tell you about a koala is they add nothing to the ecosystem at all. So, what that means is if they're alive or they're dead, nothing else on the living planet would know the difference. Isn't that terrible?
Wow.
They don't offer anything. They offer nothing. They're no food chain for anything. They offer nothing to our ecosystem. So they're hopeless too. But they're cute.
My gosh.
They're cute little guys.
I do like their lifestyle because they sleep about 17 hours a day and then they wake up, have a feed and go back to bed.
Well, they're baked. They're stoned. They're so high. The eucalyptus fries their brains. So it's like they're smoking joints 24/7.
Again, I do
I
like
was
their
going to say,
lifestyle.
they sound like a lot of American teenagers.
Oh, dear.
Now, do you guys,
We should talk some more music.
we will.
maybe,
We'll
eh?
come back to the music, but it is. This is a cool thing about doing an international call is we can, we'll take Ash on a trip as well.
We do.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about, Ash?
I have a question.
All right, you ask
Speaking
us a
of
question.
slang, and you guys may or may not know the answer. So, mate, why do you guys say that?
Mate,
Like,
Mate, I don't know.
yeah.
it's really...
Because I guess here in the U.S., it's kind of funny to us because, like, when we say mate, that means, like, like your spouse, like someone, father of your children or mother of your children. So I know in the U.S. that was one thing that we always thought was kind of strange is, to walk up to some stranger and say mate, because to us that means something, like, completely different.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe you guys knew where it came from.
It has a few meanings in Australia. Mate basically is we're mates, like we know each other, we're friends.
Buddies, buddies.
Friends, buddies.
Yeah.
The other thing it's really good for is when you haven't met somebody for like 5 or 6 years.
It's the universal name.
And they walk up out of nowhere and they go, "How you going, Jay?" And I go, "Oh, I can't remember your name." "G'day, mate. How are you?"
G'day, mate.
And she's back.
It's the universal name. It doesn't matter. Even if we saw you in a year, Ash, and we forgot who you were, no, that won't happen. That won't happen.
But we'd
see you down the street. "G'day, mate. How you going?"
We go, "Hey, mate."
And you go, "They still remember me." So yeah, it gets you out of a lot of trouble.
That's awesome.
It does. It does.
Do you guys use terms like honey or sweetheart or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, we say probably darling more than sweetheart.
Yeah.
We Sheila, you know what a Sheila is?
The girl, right?
That's a girl, yeah.
The word Sheila is it's a rip snorter of a slang word.
Really?
A rip snorter. Do you know what a rip snorter is?
No.
It's a cracker.
What is that?
It's like a cracker.
It's
like the good one.
It's a good or great.
That's the top shelf. Like,
Yeah.
man, that's a rip snorter. Like that's you don't get much higher than a rip snorter. I know. They just keep coming out, don't they?
The Americans must have some good slang words. You got some good slang words over there, Ash?
We do. Most of them are pretty inappropriate, dirty. I don't know what you guys would think they were, but most Americans, if I started talking slang, would be like, "What?" Like, yeah, like for us, like when I can't remember somebody's name, I always refer to like honey or sweetheart or something. Like, "Oh, hey, sweetheart, how are you?" Here in the South, we have "bless your heart," which basically means screw you. That's basically what that means.
I wouldn't have seen that coming. I wouldn't have seen that coming. No.
That's great.
See, I'll tell you the diff. This is the thing with Aussie men. So when you come over here and you walk into a bar and you walk up to an Aussie man and you go, "Oh, hello, darling," he's probably going to try and pick you up.
Yeah.
He's going to think you're a bit sweet on him. So if you call him honey or darling, he's probably going to take an interest straight away and go, "How you doing? How you going?"
And when you say, "Oh, bless your heart,"
and when he says, "Oh, bless your heart," he's probably sitting there going, "She's right into me." Where you're actually telling him to rack off. Yeah, so
You know, language is a beautiful thing.
I think we're
It's
gonna
great.
have to teach Ash the intricacies of word choices.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey Ash, now you're heading out
Some-
on tour soon. Are you taking your music out to the people? Are you going to go out and tour?
Yes, yes.
Tell us about
I
what you got.
actually leave tomorrow. And I'm going to, I'm touring here in the U.S. Hopefully someday I can come over there with you guys. But I'm going to North and South Carolina tomorrow. So I'll be gone for about a week and a half. And then I'm coming back to Tennessee, and I'm playing here in the state of Tennessee, not in Nashville, but, kind of towards like the Smoky Mountains and in that area. And then I'll be in St. Louis first week of December. So, so if anyone's watching that's in the U.S. and you're in that part of the country, come on down. And like I said, hopefully one day I'd love to come over there and play some shows in your neck of the woods. So I got to put all these, slang that I'm using to use somehow. Got to work on it.
Hey Ash, when you're out and about touring, I know with our independents over here that they struggle to sustain a living out of it. In the American market where you're out, or you're walking up Broadway or something and you're looking for gigs, do the venues pay you well? Do you have to pay the venues? Do you work on tips? Over here, our indies will get paid a small percentage of the money compared to our majors. Do you find in America that the playing fields are totally different as well, or is it a sustainable career for you to drive around and get paid enough that everyone can make a living, or is it hard work?
To be honest, it's hard work, and I want to say too. Just to be clear, so there is Nashville, and then there's the rest of America. And what I mean by that is, in Nashville, venues, if I were to walk up to most venues here in Nashville, and if I were to say, hey, I want to come down, I want to play a show, I want to, I'll bring 100 people with me, they'll say, okay, great, you owe us $500. So I will pay that venue. I will pay them $500 to get up on stage and sing for an hour and a half. That's most of Nashville. Like I said, not everybody. Here in Nashville, you can maybe play for tips. Anybody who is sustaining a living doing music full time here usually does not play here in Nashville, is what you will find. So, for example, like you just heard me say, you kind of are noticing that I'm not playing in Nashville, but I have to travel. I have to go out of state, out of town, and travel to other places in the U.S. to make a living. Even then, I think the economy here right now in the U.S. is, we're kind of going through a lot here in this country with our recent election, and that stuff does play into the economy and people wanting to spend money and venues paying artists. So I guess the short answer to that question is, it's definitely a lot of hard work, and a lot of the time we don't make a lot of money, and so you have to have your hands in numerous different things. And a lot of people that I know that are very successful still have day jobs. I run in, especially here in Nashville, it's like I was at Starbucks the other day, and there was a guy, making my coffee behind the counter, and I was like, dude, that's, so-and-so. The guy just wrote a #1 last year. He had a #1 song, and he's working at Starbucks. So, I mean, it's a hard industry, and, I'm not complaining or bringing anything down. We're independent. It's hard work. I mean, I always say I am my own business. I'm a business owner. My music, this is my career, it's my business. And, if anyone is a entrepreneur, or if you go out and, you go to do something, you'll know that it's hard. Every industry is this way. But, we do it because we love it. So I love it, so I put up with it,
Ash, for you to go from an independent to a record label, a signed artist, that would be in our headlights in Australia. So from where you are now to the big show, what's the process, and how long would it take you if you were the most phenomenal writer, the most phenomenal singer, the most phenomenal musician, the most phenomenal business person, the nicest person connected, all that sort of stuff? There's still a process to get through it, right? Where you are right,
absolutely.
Where you are right now to where you get signed a big deal, what are some of the key steps that you have to check off before you can get that? What's the first thing you got to do?
So I'll say this, the industry here in Nashville and in really just the U.S. in general, it's really changed a lot, like even within the past couple years. So from where I'm at right now, which for starters is I don't want to sound arrogant, but it's definitely pretty far compared to most people. I'm here in Nashville, 15 cuts. I'm actually touring, playing shows, releasing music. That's a lot further than a lot of people get here. With that being said, nowadays record companies don't have the time and or the money to put into somebody. So it's great if you're a great writer and if you are pretty or you're whatever. But the thing they want to know is, does your music sell? They want to see numbers. They want to see, do you have a following? And I respect that. They're a business. If I was to give someone a check for $1 million and say, here, let me fund your record, which is what they do, I would want to make sure I was investing wisely. So nowadays, the big thing is, for starters, is to have a following. Number two, it is to make sure that you are you're making money. You have the numbers to show, hey, look, I'm making income off of what I'm doing. And a lot of people are doing that by, for starters, getting publishing deals first. So a lot of artists that go on and sign record labels are first record deals are actually first starting out with being signed as songwriters, and they write songs for other people. And then when they have success doing that, then they will be signed to a record deal, and then their own personal album will come out. But even if you just look at what's coming out of Nashville, Sam Hunt, for example, Sam Hunt wrote songs for Reba McEntire, Kenny Chesney, Keith Urban. He wrote songs for all these different people, and then he came out. Same thing with people like Brandy Clark. And that's the thing is, they want to make sure that they're investing their money wisely. So, and even then, Nashville is called a 10-year town. That's what we call it here in the U.S., meaning you can come here and you can be the most talented person in the world, but that doesn't guarantee you anything. It doesn't. The other thing is it pretty much 10 years. There's so much involved in learning who you are as an artist, your song, your craft. You think you are probably the most talented person in the world. I guarantee you, go walk down Broadway right now and you will find somebody way better than you. That is just the truth. This is Music City. Every talented musician is here. It's just disgusting. But, I think you can either come here and you can kind of, be depressed and be like, oh, well, I suck, you know what I mean? Or you can say, man, these people are all so awesome. It's going to take me 10 years. Where am I at? What level am I on? What do I need to do? And do the work. Because, at the end of the day, you are, like I said, you are your own business. You represent yourself. And if you want to be successful, well, then, quit complaining and put in the work. and it will happen. So that's my kind of, view on just record labels and how you get there.
So, yeah, it's a pretty admirable approach you take to it, because behind all the stay focused and stay polished and all this, surely there's nights that you go home and put your head under the pillow and you pull your blanket up and you just lay there and think, what have I done? I mean, that goes on as well, right? I mean, it's the power of positive thinking. The power of positive thinking is great, and you have to have it. You've got to kick yourself up the butt every morning and fire out and do it. You got to believe in what you're doing. Yeah. But even with all that happening, it's still a lonely town, isn't it, Ash?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm not denying it. There was perfect example was like, when you're an independent artist, for, I don't know what you guys come over here, but we call them indie artists for short, just kind of shorten it up. But, I wake up every day at 6 a.m. and I probably go to bed, no joke, around like, 1 at the earliest. And, I have to wake up. I know that I have to wake up at 6 a.m. and I have to work on booking. I have to schedule interviews, co-writes, shows. I have to take care of certain things. I have to run my business efficiently. I have to write songs. I have to be in the studio. I have to do these things. And, it's tiring. It's frustrating. It takes a lot of self-discipline. There are a lot of days where I really just want to go home and just go to bed, and just be like, I don't want to do it right now. But, it can get tiresome. But I think that goes back to just surrounding yourself with really good people. I know that I have, my circle of real close friends to where, if I call them and I'm like, man, I am so tired today, or man, this happened and I am so mad right now, or whatever, it's important. Surround yourself with good people. Because if I call and if I have that attitude, they're going to say, hold on, and kind of put me back in the mindset that I need to be in. So it's important. Surround yourself with good people.
Ash, I think anybody who watches that last 5 minutes or so of what you said,
it's crucial.
There's just so much gold information in there. And I understand that you get tired, but you're doing all this music. But on top of that, you've also created the Care Foundation, which and you also have a compassion kit.
I do, yeah.
Now, the Care Foundation is yours, isn't it? Is that right?
It is. So, a little backstory on how that got started. I was actually raised by my mom. My biological dad, he kind of left us when I was in high school, and so it was me and my mom and my two brothers. And my mom is just an amazing woman. I mean, just strong. She would. I grew up just watching her make sacrifices to take care of us. And if you've ever been in that kind of family home situation, it's just so much on a single mom and on the kids, And so when I got older, I just kind of realized I saw the problem. I saw the issue. And there's not really a lot being done here in the U.S., in our country, for those parents or for those kids that are affected. They don't have dads or, and so I was like, I want to do something. I know what that feels like. I want to help kids that were in that same situation. So Care is actually my mom's first name. And so I named it after her. And so what we do is we actually raise money throughout the year, and we go to, single parent homes that can't afford, let's say, Christmas presents for their kids or birthday presents. And we actually buy them presents. We buy them groceries, school supplies, all kinds of stuff like that. And we deliver it. And then what we do is we write each of the kids like a really encouraging letter, just encouraging them to stay focused in school and let them know that they're loved and, appreciated, and, just love on them. And we usually try to treat the mom, too. And in some cases it's dads, but, to say, hey, go to the salon for an hour, or, let me help you with this, or, something fun, because there's just so much stress and pressure put on their shoulders, to raise kids on their own. So that's why we started it. And, it's been around for a couple years now, and I'm really proud of it and just what we do. I hope that, someday as, time goes on and as I become more successful in music, I can use that to help grow that with it. Because like I said, I think it's something clearly very personal to me, something that I really take pretty seriously. And, I'm blessed to have my family here too. Literally it's my family that runs it. I have, 4 brothers, and my 2 youngest ones that are still at home will be the ones that are packing the groceries and, and then we're driving to deliver it. So it's very much a family ordeal. So it's great, but yeah, there's that. And then, I've been really blessed for the past, almost 8 years now to sponsor a little girl in Haiti by the name of Sydney, and through Compassion International, which is a great charity if someone's looking just for something to do. But she's really just been a blessing to me. She, it's weird because I didn't pick her as my sponsored child. They just were like, hey, this is your child, and I was like, cool. Well, it turns out that she was really into music, and I thought, couldn't be better. Like, they had no idea I was a musician or nothing. So we write letters back and forth, and like I said, I mean, just paying her school tuition or groceries or something. It's fame is great, success is great. That's all wonderful. But at the end of the day, it does not matter. It means a lot more to me to take 5 minutes and call up a mom who's having a hard time and just be there for her and pray for her. Write a letter to a little girl in Haiti who's wondering where her next meal's coming from. People are what really is important. And you just can't stress that enough. You can't buy that.
You're a sweetheart, Ash, I tell you, and it just, you know, it's such a nice thing, Jay, and I say it all the time, but it's such a nice thing when you get behind all the bells and the whistles and all the showbiz behind it, and then you dig in and you find about the real human that's running this show.
Yep.
And you know, good on you. Good on you. It says
Thank
a lot
you.
about who you are as a human right there, and I'm digging that. Now, Ash, before I get all soppy and want to hug you through the webcam, where can we find you, mate? So our Aussie folks here that are going to watch this thing, they're gonna stick to you. I think you're going to find some people spark up on their Facebook, and you know you'll start getting these weird slang requests. And but I reckon our Aussie friends are going to click onto you pretty quickly, and especially if they hear that part right there, I think people are going to go, that's a person I can follow and support. So where else can people find you and socially connect with you and keep an eye? Do you have a newsletter they can sign up to or anything like that?
Yeah. So if they go onto ashleytaylormusic.com, my website, there's actually a tab up at the very top. You can't miss it, and it says mailing list. So if you go on there, give me your email address. I send out a monthly newsletter, and I usually use that too to give stuff away to people and just let people know what's going on. There's also on my website links to all my social media. So Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are probably my big three. Do you guys Snapchat? You know what that is? I just started Snapchatting. It's what the kids nowadays.
Isn't that like where you turn your head into like a puppy?
Yeah, my kids.
Yeah. I've been turning my head into a puppy a lot.
Yeah. Have you got the evil bunny one over there? I send that one to Mick.
Yeah.
Scared the
Was that you that did that?
Yeah,
I didn't even know it was him.
You're welcome.
Oh, that was freaky bunny. Freaky bunny. Well, Ash, we're going to make sure all your social links, every single thing that you've got that we can connect with you, we're going to make sure it's in the links below. And we're going to send all our people over to haunt you and Facebook stalk you and Twitter follow you and Instagram you and Snap Bunny you and all that sort of stuff.
Snap Bunny.
Snap Bunny.
Well, thank you.
And
I look forward to meeting all of them. You guys are awesome.
I'll tell you what, when now we will ask this one, and we'll ask it publicly here, so we've got an official answer, yes or no. The answer can be yes or no. When the big guy and myself head over to Nashville, we're going to need accommodation, Ash.
Come on down.
There you go. Woohoo!
Come on down.
Have you got a couch?
What are you waiting on?
We'll top and tail on the couch.
You're fine. I have an extra room. We'll move guitars and stuff around in the living room, and we'll make room. So
we will play so many guitars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a party that won't stop that one.
Yeah.
Ashley
awesome.
Taylor.
No, I just love that.
Ashley Taylor, it's been an absolute honour and a pleasure to talk to you. It is so nice to get to know you a little bit more on a personal level, have some fun with you through our slang challenge.
Yes.
And we're definitely going to keep our eyes on you, and we wish you all the success in the world that you're living in. And we hopefully one day again we'll sit down with you and have a talk to you, and you can got some new stories for us, and we'll have some new slang for you.
Yeah.
But mate, on behalf of Jay and myself and everyone in the country music world, we wish you all the best, and good luck with your future.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for having me. You guys are seriously the best. Thank you.
No worries. See you later, Ash.
Thanks, Ash.
Bye.
Bye.
Did you like that interview and want to see some more just like it? Then check them out right there.
We've got artist interviews, we've got the CMW Country Artist of the Week chart as voted by you, and we also have heaps of weekly prize giveaways.
So give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, because together we can make a difference in the country music world.